Pete the Cat and the Bedtime Blues by Kimberly and James Dean. Pete and the gang had a great day. They'd been at the beach, surf and sun, and tons of fun. See him with his friends surfing? But when the sun went down, they didn't want the fun to end. So Pete had an idea. Hey, how about a sleepover? More time for tons of fun. Groovy. Pete's place. Let's go. So we're going to have a sleepover? The party was far out, but they knew they couldn't stay up all night. The gang decided it was time to say good night. On went the pajamas and out went the light. Good night, Gus. Good night, Alligator. Good night, Toad. Good night, Pete. Oh, they're all in their pajamas and their sleeping bags, and Pete's in his bed. Pete was just about to catch some Z's when clap, clap, clap. Who did that? Pete asked. It was me, said Grumpy Toad. I don't want to go to bed. I want to clap instead. Pete covered his head. Uh-oh, the toad didn't want to go to sleep. This cool cat needs to go to bed. Good night, Gus. Good night, Alligator. Good night, Toad. Good night, Pete. Time to sleep. Pete tried again to catch some Z's when rat-a-tat-tat. Who did that? Pete asked. It was me, said Gus the platypus. I don't want to go to bed. I want to jam instead. See him playing the drums? What do you think Pete's going to say? Pete covered his head. This cool cat needs to go to bed. Time to sleep. Good night, Gus. Good night, Alligator. Good night, Toad. Good night, Pete. Pete closed his eyes to catch some Z's when he heard... Oh no, who do you think it's going to be this time? Munch, munch, munch. Pete had a hunch. It was Alligator. He was always eating. What could Pete do? Is Alligator eating some pizza? All the clapping, rat-a-tat-tatting, and munching was giving him the bedtime blues. But Pete had a groovy idea. I wonder what Pete's going to do. He got out his favorite bedtime story and started to read. First to himself, and then to the gang. Is Pete reading them a bedtime story? It says, Pete the Cat and 10 Little Monsters. Pete noticed it was finally quiet. No more clapping, no more rat-a-tat-tatting, and no more munching. They all settled down. No one made a sound. Pete yawned and turned off the light. Good night, sleep tight. Time to catch some Z's. Are his friends all laying down to go to sleep this time? Tomorrow was another day for surfing, sun, and tons of fun. What are they all dreaming about? They're all surfing again. The end.